Okay, Professor, transporting Heracross. Now, let's go show him what we can do.
And on that note, welcome back to the channel. Once again, I fell behind on my videos for the end of Season 25. However, I have some exciting news that I ended up joining NewN. So this is going to be an exciting journey, you know, having to step up my game and keeping up with these beasts over here. Obviously, there's also the new factor of learning how they operate with the boss rush method and helping some with the planning as well. So that this definitely will be a good and exciting journey for me, and I'm looking forward to bringing you some content for this season on how that goes. To start things off, we have this Havok here on Heavy Hitter, which his heavy attacks will be unstoppable and also power alternator. The strategy here is obviously for you to not get cornered, which you would be in a pickle trying to get out of that corner to either not get hit by the second hit or finding your opening to land any attacks. And he started the fight optimally for him, already throwing those two heavies back to back and then pushing me against the wall. So I'm already left with trying to find any openings for myself, and I make some mistakes that I thought that I had my double parry, and then he ends up hitting me and pushing me further against the wall. I threw that special one out of desperation, trying to not get cornered because I knew this would be a situation that he would just be throwing those back to back. And at this point I'm thinking, well, what is my opening here for trying to get out of the wall? And then I found one, luckily. And after that I just tried to, you know, play safe here. I blocked his special one, and then power alternator kicked in there and then transferred my power to him, which is not a big deal. And then at this point I'm starting to get the control back into the fight. I'm getting to my special 2, and then once I throw that with my tech boost, then I should be able to get close to another special 2 right after. But obviously power alternator kicked in the nick of time for him. However, that's not too concerning for me since I'm keeping the spacing now and being able to connect my double parries. And I'm going to throw that special one just to seal the deal in this fight and move on. So the nerves definitely got the best of me on that one. As for this Immortal Abomination on power snack and backup recovery, this fight obviously is not the most difficult. What you need to keep in mind is obviously the power gain that he's going to get every now and then if you're using your Daxes, or if you're unable to time the window for when the power snack is going to expire on him, and then that you have to try and get a Dax in so that he doesn't keep nullifying your armor ups. So with that out of the way, he ended up throwing one special one, but that's not a big deal. And then from this point forward, I'm just going to keep doing my shorter combos and then back away from him and hope that he comes in for me to parry. Start building up my infections on him and then throwing my special 2s. And at that point, with his regeneration from the poison and with having willpower on and also the armors, then this fight is pretty straightforward. It's just basically a rinse and repeat from all the actions of parry, do the short combo, back away, build up for your special to throw that, and then just keep cycling through it. Up next we have this Professor X on EMP Modification, Burden of Might, and Rolling Thunder. So this fight here, it's not too tricky for Warlock if you're not using too many Daxes to give him the passive shock charges that if he throws a special would obviously do a lot of damage. But the fact that Professor X has his non-contact attacks, that's going to go a long way for me to control his power. And obviously if you're far away that he will come and dash at you with a medium attack, you're able to parry him. So from this point forward, I just need to make sure that I'm getting to my special 2 And initially I was not assigned with this fight and my attack boost expired. So it was a little slower on the sense that I had to build up to my special 2 again. But Professor X is so squishy that that's not a big deal for me, and I just need to keep an eye then on the falter mechanic. And after that, just build back to my special 2, which happens quite fast because of Burden of Might. So just throw those special 2s, and then Warlock basically is just going to shred him down. Right here we have this Apocalypse on path 3. This node does absolutely nothing for him, so it's quite an odd placement. I probably sense that it could be somehow to try and take some health away from Guillotine because she would have to do the ramp up. But again, she's not the only option for this node, and Warlock works pretty well. And once again, this is the 4th fight in with Warlock, and it's basically just a marathon of defenders placed with willpower, so that definitely benefits me for keeping the fight under control. But there's no secrets here. Same strategy as Immortal Abomination, build to my special 2, throw that, dash back, parry, combo, build special, rinse and repeat. And to close out my marathon of Warlock fights, I have this Rhino on the 2nd node of path 3. He has explosive personality, the enhanced armor up, and also heavy-handed, which increases his special attack damage based on the armor. So obviously here you just need to change your mindset to not hit into his block, or you could take some nasty damage from the explosive personality. I believe that I only did once throughout the fight, but that was not a big deal because with Warlock throwing his special 2s and armor breaking the opponent, that would get rid of that one armor up, and then I wouldn't risk getting to 5 total, which would trigger the damage onto me. And here, once again, same strategy, keep him cornered for most part, build my special 2, keep doing my parries to build my infections, and then just cycle through that same method until he's down. So here we have the final stretch of the war. I was included in the boss rushing team for this war, and then this is the Black Widow on the Unblockable Special 1, Power Focus 1, and Hurt Locker. So obviously you need to keep that in mind so that you don't take a lot of damage if you end up using the same special more than once. And aside from that, you just need to then keep an eye on her evade charges if she throws those special ones, which will be often based on the combination of nodes for her. Doom is absolutely the best option for here. He's so tanky, and then he has the extra safety net of not getting shock on him. So if by chance you would slip up on her evades, or if you tried an intercept and got clipped, in that instance, Doom would have been the best scenario for you to not end up costing this fight. So here I'm just building to my special 3 at first, and I'm throwing that one. And I tried to do the regular Doom cycle, but for this fight, since she has Power Focus 1, it doesn't really work out because she's not going to get much power after she reaches a bar of power. So after this special 3, I'm going to go for a special 1 just to make sure, in case I go back up to a special 3, I don't get stung by Hurt Locker. And that pretty much should close the deal here for me, and that Black Widow will go down pretty easily. Last but not least, we have this Mojo boss here, and Torch, in my opinion, is the absolute best option for him. Some end up using magic, but it's just a risky fight, obviously, because you're using a 5-star against a rank 3 pretty stacked boss, and on Protect you also would have to dance around and having to risk your intercepts to get rid of the protection that he gains. Here, my biggest mistake within this fight is that I wasn't throwing my full 5-hit combo, and then I ended up losing a lot of spacing into the field that would eventually push me against the wall, and that's not ideal for fighting Mojo that way, obviously, because I didn't have my dexterity on to not trigger the degeneration, but also that would just open up room for him to throw specials left and right, and also me end up having to dodge any of his heavies. So in this case here, I'm trying to build to my special 3 for a safety net in case I get into a corner, and right there I just tried to evade his heavy attack, and obviously with dexterity you have to have the perfect timing to shallow evade him, and then he got that heavy on me, and I just noticed how lucky he got with all the prompts throughout the fight, and then that just made him build a lot of power and also start applying the degen stacks on me. And at this point I'm starting to freak out because my health is just dropping, and then he's not dropping fast enough for melting in that case. And then he's just building back to another special 2, another degen comes around, and I'm just trying to get out of this fight and keep my solo. So luckily that happened for me. In retrospect, I believe that this war caused me a roller coaster of emotions. However, with the first war out of the way and hoping I can keep my nerves in check, the rest of the season will have a lot of opportunity for me to clean up my act, but I'm pretty satisfied with how this war went, and obviously we ended up getting the win here, so that's always a good feeling and a good start to the season, which obviously is at the top of our priorities to keep fighting towards the top 3 goal that the Alliance always strives for. So until next time, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and sorry again for lagging behind, and hopefully I'll do a better job at keeping the videos coming consistently throughout the season.